Today we are going to learn about the solar system. Earth is not floating alone in space. It is part of a giant cosmic family. At the centre of that family is the Sun, and around it travel planets, moons, dwarf planets, asteroids, comets, dust, ice, and many other celestial bodies. That is the solar system. Scientists think the solar system formed about 4.6 billion years ago. A huge cloud of gas and dust collapsed inward. At the centre, the Sun was born. The remaining material gathered together and formed the planets. That is why the inner planets became rocky worlds, while the outer planets became giant worlds of gas and ice. The planets in the solar system can be divided into two major groups. The first group is the inner planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. These are rocky planets close to the Sun. The second group is the outer planets: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These are giant planets made mostly of gas or icy materials. The heart of the solar system is the Sun. It is a yellow dwarf star, also known as a G-type main sequence star. The Sun is made of about 73% hydrogen and 25% helium. More than 99.8% of the solar system's total mass belongs to the Sun. It is about 109 times wider than Earth. Sunlight takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth. The Sun is the source of light, heat, solar wind, and energy for the entire solar system. From Mercury, the Sun looks much bigger and far brighter. From Earth, it looks familiar to us. From Neptune, it appears as a very small, bright disk. This teaches us one important idea. When distance changes, light, heat, and the environment of a planet also change. Now Artemis aims to return and build a long-term human presence. Polar ice may help future explorers use local resources directly on the Moon. Mars is known as the Red Desert Frontier. Its surface is red because iron minerals have rusted over time. Mars has giant landmarks such as Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the solar system, and Valles Marineris, a vast canyon system. Ancient river deltas, lake beds, and water-formed minerals show that liquid water once flowed there. Today, most of its water exists as ice, especially at the poles and underground. Mars is one of the main targets in the search for signs of ancient microbial life. If humans want to live on Mars, they must face three major dangers: radiation, low atmospheric pressure, and global dust storms. Without a strong magnetic field, the surface receives dangerous radiation. Because the atmospheric pressure is so low, people would need pressurized suits and protected habitats. Dust storms can block sunlight for months. That is why future solutions may include underground habitats, regolith shields, pressure domes, and automated dust cleaning systems. MOXIE has already shown that oxygen can be made from Martian carbon dioxide, which is a major step towards self-sufficiency. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. It is a gas giant made mostly of hydrogen and helium. Deep inside, intense pressure may turn hydrogen into a metallic form, helping create Jupiter's enormous magnetic field. The Great Red Spot is a giant storm larger than Earth and has been observed for centuries. Jupiter also acts like a gravitational shield, attracting or redirecting some comets and asteroids that might otherwise threaten the inner planets. Jupiter's best known moons are the Galilean moons. Io is the most volcanically active body in the solar system. Europa may hide a global saltwater ocean beneath its ice. Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system and even has its own magnetic field. Callisto is heavily cratered and may also hide an ancient ocean below its surface. Europa is one of the most important worlds in the search for extraterrestrial life. Saturn is the great ringed wonder of the solar system. It is a gas giant rich in hydrogen and helium, and its average density is very low. Saturn's rings are made mostly of water ice and rocky fragments. They range from tiny grains to large blocks of ice. Although the rings spread out widely, they are surprisingly thin. The Cassini-Huygens missions transformed our understanding of Saturn, and Huygens even landed on Titan. Titan is larger than Mercury and has a thick atmosphere. On its surface are lakes of liquid methane and ethane. Enceladus is a much smaller moon, but it is extremely important. It may have an ocean beneath its surface, and it blasts water vapour and organic material into space. Because of this, Enceladus is one of the best places to search for possible extraterrestrial life. Venus is an ice giant containing materials such as water, ammonia and methane. Its most unusual feature is its extreme tilt of about 98 degrees. It appears to roll through space on its side. This creates very strange seasons, and at the poles, a single day or night can last about 42 Earth years. Methane in the atmosphere gives Uranus its pale cyan colour. Voyager 2 is still the only spacecraft to have visited Uranus closely. Neptune is the most distant major planet in the solar system. It is another ice giant, deep blue in colour and incredibly windy. In fact, Neptune has the strongest winds in the solar system. At noon there, the sunlight would still feel dim, almost like twilight on Earth because the sun is so far away. Its moon Triton may be a captured Kuiper Belt object, and it shows active nitrogen geysers. Neptune truly deserves to be called the wind champion of the solar system. Pluto was once taught as the 9th planet. Today it is classified as a dwarf planet, but that does not make it unimportant. Pluto has mountains of water ice, plains of frozen nitrogen, and a thin atmosphere made of nitrogen and methane that expands and contracts during its orbit. Its large moon Charon is so big that Pluto and Charon behave almost like a double world. New Horizons showed us that Pluto is not simple at all. It is a complex, icy frontier world. As far as we know, Earth is the only living world. But the search for life continues. Europa may have a global ocean. Enceladus throws water and organic materials into space. Mars preserves signs of ancient water and may preserve evidence of ancient microbes. Some scientists also wonder about the cloud layers of Venus. So when we ask where else life might exist, the answer is no longer just Earth. If humans spread across the solar system one day, where might we go first? The moon is close and useful as a testing ground. Mars is the great long-term dream for human settlement. The surface of Venus is far too hostile, but some people imagine floating research stations high in its clouds. To make such journeys practical, future technologies may include nuclear thermal rockets, fusion propulsion, directed energy systems, and strong ISRU methods that make fuel, water, and oxygen from local resources.